The Acolyte was terrible. It was a really bad show. Did you watch it, Rob?
Yes.
Did you get all the way through it?
I did.
I had to tap out. And then about a month or two later, I went back to watch the remaining episodes just so I had a foundation. And it was really upsetting because you know how excited I was for that show.
I do.
I was so excited from the day they announced it. And it, the first episode showed promise. I think the combat, I'll give credit where it's due. Combat looked pretty good in it. But yeah, it was really, really quite bad. And they canceled the show, and that's a good thing. And now there's a new story coming out that really makes me glad they canceled it. Because apparently Yoda, who does a little, spoiler alert, does a little cameo at the end there. Apparently he was going to go a little House of Cards.
What?
A little bit of dark side.
Not Baby Yoda's dad.
It can't possibly be. As this report comes to us saying, the showrunner of the canceled Star Wars show, Acolyte, would have shown Yoda's dark side. And
like not his backside though, right?
No, not
Okay.
his backside. That's OnlyFans. Okay, so here, this is what it says. Leslye Headland, who, by the way, terrific showrunner from Russian Dolls. Like, absolutely fantastic show she did there, which is part of the reason why I was so excited for The Acolyte. Writes, the showrunner of the canceled Star Wars show Acolyte revealed how she would have used fan favorite character Yoda had it continued. In a recent interview, she revealed that season 2 would have explored a previously unknown aspects of the Jedi Grandmaster, his capability of dabbling within the dark side. Yoda makes a cameo appearance at the end of season 1 when Jedi Master Vernestra visits him to consult him. It sounds like a stripper's name. I'm sorry. Now coming to the stage, Vernestra
Rwoh.
Consult him on something
That's what the
important.
audience
Okay,
says.
so during a discussion on the George Lucas talk show, Patrick Cotnoir asked Leslye Headland if Yoda would help Ventra cover up the questionable actions of the Jedi Order in season 2. Because you remember, turns out the Jedi made an oopsie and they did this big cover-up of it that led to other problems. Would Yoda have participated in the cover-up? Leslye Headland says, for sure.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Headland responded. This meant that Yoda would have shown his dark side by supporting Rwoh in blaming Sol, killed by Osha after he admitted to killing her mother, blah, 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 blah. He would also support her in framing Sol as a rogue Jedi to protect the Jedi Council from galactic Senate scrutiny and investigation and hide her former apprentice's Kmir's involvement after she confided the truth in him. Cover this up, we must. Yes. No, by the way, that was a terrible Yoda. You don't even have to tell me in the live chat. I know it was a terrible Yoda. Anyway, this is nonsense. Look. I get and have gotten into many debates and won every single time, by the way, with people regarding The Last Jedi. Not a great movie. Don't even get me started about The Rise of Skywalker, but a lot of people who apparently have no idea about Luke Skywalker would say that was totally, the way Luke was in that's totally not something Luke would have done. Luke wouldn't have done that. Luke wouldn't have done that. And my response is, then you've never watched Star Wars, because while it is absolutely arguable that Luke, understanding his character, could have also made other choices, maybe better ones. If you don't understand how Luke Skywalker, that individual and his personality, and how all the things he saw, the choices he saw made, the consequences of those choices, how history repeats itself, if you don't understand how Luke could have also theoretically made the choices that led us to the Last Jedi, then you simply don't know Luke Skywalker. I'll leave it at that. But there is no version of Yoda I've ever seen who is like, yeah, let's do this government cover-up. Like Yoda, it's just not, like Yoda's not always right, but he's always trying to be right. He's always trying to be right. And this notion that, yes, let's cover up what actually happened on that planet. Yes, let's actually frame another Jedi for something he didn't do. Yes, let's actually cover these other things up and plant landmines that could totally blow up in our faces later. I just don't know that Leslye Headland understood Yoda. And again, you can have Yoda's personality and see how within this personality and within this history, you could see him making choice A or choice B or choice C, but you got to recognize that this character would not make choice D or E. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so this has just made a really bad show even worse in my eyes. And maybe that's unfair. Because again, I think she is a terrific creative. I really do. I just think she dropped the ball on Star Wars. Okay. Everybody has bad days at the office, but yeah, I'm pretty glad they canceled season 2 because I wouldn't want them to take Yoda in this direction. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mando. Guys, the time for spring cleaning has come, and to be honest, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it this year. I've been busy clearing out the clutter in the studio here and getting my camper van ready for the next movie meetup trip, but I'm also incredibly excited to keep using my deodorant. You guys know that a while ago I started using Mando whole body deodorant, and it has been an absolute game changer for me. Whether I'm sitting under these hot studio lights for a long live stream or I'm out on the golf course recently. Yeah, I actually just took up golf. I need something that actually works. Mando was created by a doctor and comes from the founders of Lumi. One of the things that I love about Mando is that it's safe to use anywhere. We're talking pits, feet, and even the boys downstairs. It's clinically proven to block odor for up to 72 hours, which is honestly way better than a shower with soap alone. It doesn't just mask the smell, it stops it before it starts. Right now, you can get 20% off site-wide. Head over to shopmando.com and use my exclusive code Campea. That's shopmando.com, code Campea for 20% off. Support the show and tell them I sent you. Anyway, Rob, you hear about these plans that they had for season 2. I don't know. What do you take away from it?
Well, Yoda wasn't exactly forthcoming about parentage to Luke in Empire Strikes Back.
Well, as Obi-Wan said, it was true from a certain point of
Yeah,
view.
and I would say that, so there is precedent that the Jedi can play fast and loose with things, but I agree with you.
The Jedi can, yes.
Yes, but I mean, I think that Yoda, here's my problem. One of the problems with modern storytelling is people in this day and age don't believe that their characters can be good. Everybody has to be certain shades of gray. Everybody has gray colors within their characters. Everybody's corruptible. Just like nobody believes in America anymore. We don't believe in our 10 amendments that comprise the Bill of Rights, but we should, because as ideas, they work really, really well. And in stories, you have to have good characters. Like, for instance, Frodo Baggins does not have gray inside of him. He is a good character. That's why when the ring started to corrupt him, it mattered.
It had dramatic effect.
It had dramatic effect. And so to subvert a character like Yoda, I don't think would have been good for the franchise. I don't. You can use other characters to do that, but not Yoda. But this is the problem. Storytellers, today's storytellers want to do that because it's easy to do. It is harder to portray a great character that is inherently good, or what do you call it in D&D? Lawful good.
Lawful good.
So if you have a character that's lawful good, it's hard to tell a great story about that character.
It's hard to play that kind of a character, by the way. It's difficult to play them.
So it's, to me, the laziest trope that any storyteller can do, and you see it all the time, let's take a beloved character that's been around forever and let's turn him bad. Let's have him do something terrible. And I'm like, you're a lazy writer. Lazy. Figure something else out.
Yeah, and I think you raise a good point, but I want to go back to it for a second about like Yoda with not telling Luke. I mean, he's not the one who told Luke that Vader killed his father.
Right.
But, in Jedi, when Luke goes back, he's like, why didn't you tell me? And Yoda gives, you weren't ready to hear it.
Right.
Like, it probably would have bumped you off the path you were on. You weren't ready. You weren't prepared. It was a huge burden to know. And that's why this one piece of information, he never lied to him, but I withheld this one piece of information.
But he did send him into the cave where he confronted Vader, and Vader had his face.
Yes.
And Yoda didn't extrapolate on that, so he was bringing him along.
Well, that's because Yoda didn't do it, right? It's just that cave is going to do to you, it's going to be like a trial in many ways.
Right.
I just don't see Yoda who, like, sometimes there are characters who, with the motivation to do good, I'll use Gandalf as an example. When Frodo tries to give him the ring, this is the nerdiest conversation you're going to hear today, but when Frodo tries to give the ring to Gandalf, and Gandalf says, no, you mustn't, I must not take the ring, because though I would use the ring with a desire to do good, through me, it would wreak unspeakable evil. Right?
But he knew that, which...
But he recognized that, right? And so I think there are sometimes good characters who recognize that with the intention to do good, they can inadvertently do bad things. But the whole idea of this is a massive thing of dominoes where Yoda would not just cover up somebody's indiscretion, but there's a chain of events. Like, he would have covered up this massive thing that threw off the whole thing on this planet. We would have framed another Jedi, dead Jedi, for something, who made mistakes, but we would have put a lot on this other Jedi and their reputation that they didn't do. I mean, it just seems like too far out of step for Yoda. Like, you can convince me that Yoda ordered scrambled eggs for breakfast when he should have ordered them over easy, like allegorically speaking, but this is a step too far, I think.
Unless they did it, I will let's get nerdier. When Campea,
Let's get nuts.
in the third season, Next Generation episode, Sins of the Father, Worf had to accept discommendation, dishonor, in order to preserve a terrible wrong that was done within the Empire, so as not to start, it had to good people participated.
He put forward
in a
lie for the greater good.
Yes, that story is interesting because then they have to come back and solve this problem, which they did.
Suddenly, my body is that route. Suddenly, uncontrollably, I got to do this. As soon as you mention that episode, my body naturally wants to go.
That's, by the way, Ron Moore wrote that episode.
Yes, he did.
And that's a banger of a Star Trek episode. And it plays out all the way into the Klingon Civil War with the House of Duras. It's awesome.
And no, I was not doing the Wakanda Forever. That was not Wakanda Forever.
No, that was pre-Wakanda Forever.
That was Klingon discommendation long before it was Wakanda Forever. Anyway.
Man, this has gone through the
I thought
this is like the 7 layers of nerdum hell. We're just like,
that's what we do here on the John Campea
like
Show.
This is like nerd inception.
Every once in a while, me and a friend of mine might get into a discussion like this, and my wife will be sitting there, and I'll just go over and look at her, and I'm like, "Are you turned on yet, honey?" And this is how you know she's like the best wife in the world for me. She goes, "Actually, a little, yeah." It's like, I married the right woman. Anyway, guys, question is for you: what do you think about this? Listen, all art is subjective. Maybe you enjoyed The Acolyte. If you did, that's awesome. I didn't, but that doesn't mean you can't. But I am kind of glad hearing news like this, that maybe canceling season 2 was the good idea. Anyway, whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.